The two sisters accidentally became bound to two systems. One could enlarge any object 100 times. The other could shrink any object 100 times. The younger sister smiled and chose the shrinking system. The older sister had no choice but to take the one that was left. But 3 days later, the apocalyptic rainstorm suddenly arrived. The entire city was sealed off by floodwaters. Food and resources became a matter of life and death. The older sister relied on her enlargement system. She kept expanding her meager supplies. In the end, she managed to get her sister through the worst of the crisis. As soon as the apocalypse ended, however, the younger sister she had fought so hard to protect stabbed her in the back. All because the older sister had refused to save the younger sister's crush, which had led to the crush and his entire family starving to death. The younger sister hated her older sister for being selfish. But then, the older sister opened her eyes again. She had somehow returned to the day they chose their systems. Before she could even react, her sister beside her snatched the enlargement system away. At that moment, the older sister instantly realized her sister had also been reborn. Seeing the undisguised triumph on her sister's face, the older sister decided she would never care about her again. She calmly accepted the remaining shrinking system. Once she had the enlargement system, the younger sister immediately ran off to find her crush. She fantasized about saving him and winning his love. She naively believed that with the enlargement system, one loaf of bread could become 100, that the apocalypse was nothing to fear. But the older sister, who carried the memories of her past life, knew better. The true horror of the apocalypse was never the environment. It was the ever-changing nature of people's hearts. With 3 days left before the rainstorm hit, the older sister immediately launched a frantic shopping spree. She bought out every survival item she could think of. To be self-sufficient in the apocalypse, she even purchased seeds and wind-power generators. But absurdly, while the older sister was busy preparing for survival, the younger sister was giving away supplies to the neighbors under the pretense of doing good deeds. It was obvious she wanted her older sister to starve to death in the apocalypse. The older sister's heart was completely broken. She became even more determined to see her own plan through. Her true trump card was never those supplies. It was a special hidden chamber that only she knew about. Inside the chamber, she had built a perfect little world. There was a fully furnished country cottage, a plot of land filled with vegetables, even dozens of chickens running around on a small grassy field. There was an air filtration system and a power supply. It was a place where she could safely survive for years. Finally, in the last hour before the rainstorm arrived, the older sister secretly installed hidden cameras throughout the house. She planned to hide in her chamber and watch, to see how her sister would pay for her own foolishness, and also to keep an eye on everything happening outside, to ensure her own safety. Meanwhile, the younger sister was still completely unprepared. Her only thought was to please her crush.